Hi YouTube, how's it going guys? This is the second part to a journal entry that I made about 8 months ago. So sorry, I know it takes me a little bit of time to actually get around to doing things, but I promise I will finish the things that I start. It might take a while. So anyway, without further ado, let's get on with it. So the first part of this journal entry, I was experimenting with two different ways to hold my pencil. The main goal of the first part of this experiment was to see if I could get my darks as dark as I wanted them to be, but also preserve the point of my pencil lead. So in the first part, I was holding my pencil at either a tapered angle or nearly perpendicular. And the results from that were that the tapered stroke, or what I thought was the tapered stroke, ended up with kind of a grainy, gritty texture or whatever, and it wasn't as dark as where I had used the perpendicular stroke. Now, unfortunately, with the perpendicular stroke, I was just chewing through my pencil lead like no tomorrow. Like I had to sharpen my pencils so many times. So I think, it got really, really dark, but it also ate up my pencils quite a bit. So after having done that, I wasn't really satisfied with the way my little experiment had gone because I had been watching these videos done by, well, it's called the 5 pencil method. I can leave a link to that in the description, but basically I felt like maybe I was doing something wrong, so I wanted to come back and revisit it, and came back, changed my method. So that the main things that I changed with this third circle that I'm doing is that, number one, I'm using more pencils. So the first time around I was just using 2B, 6B, and 8B. And for this circle, I'm using the HB, B, 2B, 4B, 6B, and 8B in that order. I know that's more than 5 pencils, but really I was trying to see what I could do with this little set of the Faber-Castell pencils that I had. And I just wanted to use all of them and see if I could make them work for me. So anyway, I used all of those pencils. I changed the way that I was holding my hand, so I practiced this tapered stroke that they talk about in the 5 pencil method, kept my hand in the same place, and then just turned my paper so that I could get that stroke going in several different directions, which is something that I think I didn't do with the first part. And then I used a mop brush to knock the graphite into the crevices of the paper rather than using a paper stump to blend the graphite. So after having done it this way, I discovered that, first of all, I didn't have to sharpen my pencils at all. Second of all, I discovered that it took a long time compared to when I was doing the ones that's at the top of the page there. It took a lot longer because I was using more of the pencils, and I was, going over the same area several times just to get that good solid coverage, going in different directions and stuff like that. So it definitely took a lot longer. When I got to the end, I wasn't really satisfied with it. Like, as you can see in the video here, it looks about as dark as the blended part of the tapered stroke in the first part of the experiment. So that was kind of disappointing. However, I set up this paper at one end of the room and then walked away from it and looked at it from a distance. And when looking at it from a distance, I saw that the circle on the bottom was as dark as the perpendicular stroke one at the top. So, and that's really important to keep in mind as well. You're not just looking at artwork right up close in front of your face, but you're going to be looking at it from far away. It's going to be hanging up on the wall, hopefully. I hope that this video was helpful to you guys. I don't think it necessarily shows that one way is specifically better than the other. It just depends on how you want to work. If you want to work more quickly, then you might go for the nearly perpendicular pencil stroke way and just chew through your pencils a little more quickly. Or, if you want to take your time, slow down, and save your pencils from having to be sharpened so often, then you might try this tapered stroke method and turn your paper around and all that kind of stuff. But anyway, I hope this was helpful, and we'll see you next time.